These are the surroundings that seduced the founders of the Mill Reef Club in the 1940s. Before the end of the decade, the Mill Reef Fund would be born.
The thrust of the founders of Mill Reef was to improve the well-being, daily lives of the people of Antigua and Barbuda. They set up the fund, which collects donations and distributes those donations to charitable entities around the island.
There are a number of charities that the club has been long-standing partners with and have helped them on a variety of projects.
We now give to about 35 each year, and all told, we've given a little over $12 million.
When we assess the grades of the Grade 6 National Assessment, we recognize at T.N. Kernan we were always at the low tier. And so in our school plan in 2012, we decided that we're going to tackle that issue specifically. I asked them to develop a proposal for me so that I could contact the Mill Reef Fund.
We paid for licenses to use different computer software to help those students who are having particular learning disabilities proceed at their own pace and grade level until they reached a certain level of proficiency. We did that as well as working with a company called Hands Across the Sea, which supplies actual physical books for the libraries in the different schools.
The program attacks all of the areas where the students have a need. Once the children improve in their reading ability, it helps them across all subject areas because they're required to read in mathematics, social studies, science as well. I've seen these students go on to become great readers. So I would say that without the program, they would not have made as much progress as they have done with the use of the program.
To see where the voice came from.
The Gilbert's Agriculture and Rural Development Center, or GARD, is another organization whose programs have benefited from the fund. The center is a vocational school that caters to at-risk youth, single parents, and women, and offers a wide range of career training courses, including hospitality training and agriculture.
The void the GARD Center filled was the void between academics and skills training, vocational skills training.
I chose baking because I love cooking. So here I am today. And during the course, I have learned a lot. I have mostly improved on my communication, teamwork, and being attendance on time. I love the baking aspect mostly, more than the cooking, but I want to have both of them. So I plan to start a pastry business. Recently,
We underwrote the cost of a hydroponic farming operation. We didn't know how long the food insecurity problem was going to continue on. So we decided that we needed to seek out a partner, and we found it in GARD to instruct people how to plant their own backyard and side yard gardens.
With the island being a drought-prone territory and very much in need of water, it was also a way to help maximize the water that they had through hydroponics.
But when the Mill Reef Fund comes in, it gives us an opportunity to either reinforce a course, start another course, or develop something that is going to be very beneficial for our youth.
On September 6, 2017, the eye of Hurricane Irma passed directly over Barbuda, leaving a wake of destruction. Reverend Nigel Henry of the Barbuda Pentecostal Church helped to spearhead an effort to rebuild this ravished community.
Most of the island had to be evacuated. From that point on, we helped with rebuilding different structures. We struck up a relationship with Barbuda Pentecostal Church. We helped build the nursery school. We later supplied spare parts to the reverse osmosis plant.
One of the things that we definitely had need of, because while the building itself stood, we had some damages in our sound equipment. And the sound equipment that you see around us, the speakers, the mixer board in the sound room, and microphones were all donated by the Mill Reef Fund, and we were able to have better communications through that system since then.
The fund also helped out greatly in other ways as well after the hurricane.
We were operating from the Hannah Hospital compound, and so we needed to separate both the secondary primary health care and this place was not ready, and so the donation helped us to repair the building. We now have more persons coming to seek the medical attention that they need because we're now closer to their residents.
Recently, during the COVID-19 crisis, where jobs were wiped out and food became insecure, the Mill Reef Fund worked along with the Barbuda Community Relief and supplied about 80% of the population of Barbuda with monthly food baskets.
We were very grateful at that time because facing a difficulty during the pandemic, we wasn't getting anything from Antigua. The supermarkets and them were very minimum in food process, so that would have been a disaster in our life have not been for that food package.
Before the inception of the National Sailing Academy in 2010, there were not any formal educational pathways for young Antiguans to swim, sail, and eventually work in the industry.
We offer a free sailing program to government schools, primary and secondary in Antigua, with the view to training them to sail and offering job opportunities for those who like sailing and want to make it their career.
The cost of sailing lessons would have been beyond the means, probably of most of the families involved, if it were not for the donations from the club, which are used to fund the lessons and trainers.
We would not be able to process as many students through the program without the support of Mill Reef. It's been invaluable over a number of years.
Sailability, a program which offers the differently abled community of Antigua the opportunity to sail to the best of their abilities. It is delivered by the instructors of the NSA. The funding allows the Academy to hire trainers, many of whom have passed through the NSA and are experienced in assessing and dealing with each student individually, and taking time to assess their needs and adapt their program accordingly.
Mill Reef understand, I think, what we are trying to do, so they are very important to us and we're very grateful for their continued interest and sponsorship.
I studied medicine in Trinidad. I was at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus. It's a very expensive program. And all I had was grades. I didn't have any money to actually go through it.
We provide as tuition and expenses, or half of them. The other part comes from a variety of sources.
Mill Reef actually helped propel me to every single year after my second year to actually complete the program. I want to do my internship at the hospital, and I want to eventually leave Antigua to specialize in orthopedics and return and create a department here. Because of the scholarship, my life has completely changed. I've always wanted to be a doctor, and now I can finally begin my internship and specialize in the field that I would like to go towards.
The Mill Reef Fund wants to continue to be a good partner to Antigua and Barbuda however it can.
But generally it is to increase the educational system, make it the best anywhere in the Caribbean, to have a medical system that is worthy of the people, to support the churches, to have the proper spiritual life, to do everything to create jobs around the islands so that people can support their families and can live a good and productive life.